Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel. This is Lucia Life Coaching, and today is day 4 or 55, where we take a spiritual journey and step into a new identity. Today's topic includes you can't live what you can't imagine. Today is about something subtle, but life-changing. What I've learned from Abraham Hicks, Katie Clark, Neville Goddard, is that you cannot live a life you haven't allowed yourself to imagine. So before anything shows up in your outer world, before the opportunities, the relationships, the confidence, the peace, it must first exist inside you as a felt possibility. And this isn't about wishful thinking, it's about identity. When I think about imagination, I remind myself that imagination is not fantasy. It's a preview. Many of us were taught that imagination is childish, unrealistic, or impractical. But imagination is not an escape from reality. It is the blueprint for it. Neville Goddard taught that imagination is the creative power itself, not something that you use after life happens, but the place where it begins. If you can imagine yourself calm, fulfilled, confident, successful, loved, that is not random. That is your inner world showing you what's available when you become the person who lives there. So you don't want to manifest what you want. You want to manifest what feels normal to you. This is where identity work becomes essential. Katie Clark often speaks about stepping into a new identity, not by forcing behavior, but by deciding who you are being. Old identity reacts, it provides doubt, right? It waits for proof, and it tries to get something. Whereas our new identity responds, it trusts, and it expects. It also embodies. The new version of you doesn't hustle to become worthy. They move from worthiness. And the bridge between who you've been and who you're becoming is imagination. So when we look at why most people feel stuck, it's not because you're incapable. It's because your imagination is still loyal to your old identity. So you might be imagining what could go wrong, how it didn't work before, how others might judge you, how this doesn't even feel realistic. But that's not intuition, that's conditioning. Your imagination has been trained to rehearse the past instead of introduce the future. Here's the key shift. Stop imagining how you'll change and start imagining from the version of you who already has what they want. So instead of asking, how will I become confident? Ask this question instead. If I were already confident, how would I move today? Instead of asking, how do I make this work? Ask, what would the version of me who trusts life do next? This is not pretending, this is practice. Every identity is learned through repetition. When we look at the feeling, we need to understand that feeling is the doorway. Neville Goddard emphasizes this all the time. He says that feeling is the secret, not the emotion, but the feeling of being, the feeling of safety, the feeling of capability, of belonging, of calm. You don't need to imagine every detail. You just need to touch that state, that feeling. And when you feel it, even briefly, you are teaching your nervous system that this is who I am now. And your outer world will follow that instruction. Let's anchor this into something more practical. Take a moment today and ask yourself, who am I stepping into? Not what do I want, who am I becoming? Who am I stepping into? You also want to ask, how does this version of me see life? right? Am I grounded, curious, assured, calm? The third question you want to ask yourself today is, what is the one small action they would take today? If I'm looking at stepping into a new identity, what's that one small action I can take today? We're not looking for dramatics, we're just looking for alignment. Then do that action as that person, as that new identity. Not to get a result, but really just to confirm the identity, right? To get your nervous system, to get you used to you coming from a place of a new identity. You are allowed to imagine more. So if you take nothing else from today, take this. You are not behind. You are not late. You are not unrealistic for wanting more peace, more joy, more abundance, more freedom. You simply haven't lived it yet because you haven't fully let yourself imagine it as something normal. So again, we need to take that wish, that dream off the pedestal and make it part of our everyday normal life. Today, when you begin, you don't want to force the change. You want to assume a new self gently, consistently, and with compassion. And life will meet you there. Tomorrow we'll continue with day 5 out of our 55 new identity shift journey. But remember, you can't live what you refuse to imagine. So take some time and start thinking about what that new version of yourself looks like. And I would love to hear from you guys. I would love for you to write into Lucia Life Coaching and let me know what's happening. If there's anything specific that you would like for me to cover, any guided meditations, anything, let me know if you're using vision boards or journaling as one of your manifestation techniques. So until tomorrow, this is day 4 of our 55-day journey where we're talking about imagination, not from as a fantasy, but as a real life step into getting closer to your new version of yourself. Thanks and have a great day.